Guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast on a mission to inspire a world where food makes us better. Guys, this morning I went grocery shopping, following all of my rules, going in the morning when there is no one, like 6 a.m., going with a list, never go shopping without a list, try to focus your mind on the right things to buy and avoid all the crap. So anyhow, I went shopping this morning with a list. I got a bunch of greens and mushrooms and red onions and bell peppers and some fruit and mussels and liver and some healthy candy for my parents and nephews. And healthy meaning they have no sugar, they have only whole food ingredients and just made to resemble candy, but all natural ingredients. And as I came back and was talking to my mom about eating habits and how a lot of you guys, I definitely was in that camp. We might think as human beings that, we eat healthy for 1 week and then now we got to be healthy for our whole life. But guys, just like with shower, just like with exercise, it's got to be done daily. The body, you build your health and you have a foundation, but you gotta support it. You gotta invest in it every day. You can't just sleep one night a week, have a good night's sleep, and then the rest of the week do whatever and expect, to have amazing health. You can't eat greens once a week and expect it to last forever. It's got to be done daily. Most of the vitamins and minerals and nutrients, our body can't even store for that long. Some can, some, but most not. And again, eating antioxidants, your greens, your veggies, your vitamins and minerals in form of nutrient-dense whole foods, it's important. And it's important to do it daily, just like exercise, just like sleep, just like drinking water, just like meditation and managing stress. We gotta build some sort of routine around that foundation. And only when we do it regularly, we will have the results regularly. That's the same thing with weight loss, guys. People go on diets and go off diets all the time. People expect to go on a diet, lose weight, and stay with that ideal weight forever. It doesn't happen like that, guys. If we want permanent weight loss or permanent ideal weight, I'd better say, then we want to build new habits around food and around movement and around sleep and other lifestyle factors. We gotta build habits that we maintain for life, and only then we'll maintain our ideal weight for life. We can't just do things for a month, for 2 months, for 3 months, and then expect the results to last when we get back to some crappy habits. That's just not how life works. If you want results to stick, we gotta have a routine that we maintain every single day. So that's how it works. And again, not just for health, but also for finances, for business, for personal growth. Just like with language, English is not my first language. It's not my native language. I'm Russian, and speaking English well and getting better at it requires constant work from me. And sometimes it's getting worse, sometimes it's getting better. For example, right now I'm spending most of my time in Europe and Russia. And so my American English, for example, has gotten a little bit worse, but I'm still working on it every day. And that's why I'm not losing the skill and not planning to lose it, because I'll need it. Anyhow, guys, most of the results we want to keep in our life, we need to work on them every single day. But let's get let's get to our topic of today. And this is overeating. How to manage overeating, how to crave stuff less and maintain a sense of being not hungry, of being full, of being satisfied and satiated without having to count calories, macronutrients, without you having constantly monitor yourself, right? Like, how do we maintain good, great eating habits without having to think about it all the time, making decision, obsessing about it? And there are quite a few rules, not so much rules, but habits that work for human metabolism, for human digestion, that will help you to do that, to feel satiated and full and prevent overeating on a regular basis. I've practiced it for years and now maintaining my normal weight, it seems like no work at all. I work with a lot of clients and I help them also to build these new habits, and now they too maintain their weight easy instead of going up and down and struggling with weight all the time. So that's my expertise, because I studied it, I practiced it, I worked in it with my clients for more than a decade now. And now this is something that I can share with you. So overeating. Guys, most of the overeating happens for a couple of reasons. Number one, nutrition inadequacy. Basically, that means that when our body is lacking nutrients all the time, essential nutrients like different vitamins, minerals, maybe fatty acids, maybe proteins, or fiber, when our body is missing some nutrients on a regular basis, we're going to be hungry and hungrier than the normal. That's just a normal state of things. So the body doesn't have the exact language to tell us what exactly it's missing, like what vitamin or mineral or food, right? The body has no way to tell us that exact information, but it can tell us to stay hungry till we get those nutrients we need. And that's why a lot of people are hungry and tend to overeat, because when you're not getting essential nutrients, you're going to be hungry and you're not going to get that natural signal of fullness that we are designed to have as other animals do. And so how to prevent that? Eat a nutrient-dense diet consisting of whole foods that are rich in nutrients. Greens, vegetables, seafood, organ meats, those are just some food groups, or nuts and seeds, or whole beans and pulses. Those are high in nutrients, in fiber, in filling proteins and healthy fats foods. They are also full of essential, again, vitamins and minerals. And the more you eat of them, the more chances you're going to have to meet your nutrition requirements on all levels and even exceed them, as I usually do. Even with just 1,500 calories, I manage to eat all of my, nutrition, because I just focus on the most nutrient-dense foods, green and colorful vegetables, shellfish, seafood, organ meats, beans and pulses, nuts and seeds, things like avocados, some fruit here and there. And I focus on those foods that happen to be really high in nutrients, because, I did my research. That's why I'm focusing on those foods. And that's how I almost never feel hungry, maintaining really lean body. And that's how you can do it too. Again, focus on the most nutrient-dense foods that don't deliver too many calories, that deliver fiber, that deliver water, that deliver protein, vitamins, minerals. So again, green and colorful, non-starchy vegetables, tubers like yams, also full of nutrients, shellfish, especially things like mussels, oysters, crab meat, they are super high in nutrients, fatty fish like salmon, but also sardines, mackerel, organ meats, especially liver, what else? Pulses, beans, like lentils, full of nutrients. Nuts and seeds are full of minerals, healthy fats, and fiber. Those are the most nutrient-dense foods, not that latest snack that you saw in a supermarket or a healthy food store. So stick with those foods. And they also are perfectly designed for human digestion because they have the kind of volume and fiber and vitamins and minerals and proteins and fats in them. They're designed in a perfect way to trigger the perfect amount of fullness and satiation, promoting healthy feeling of hunger and satiety. Snacks and refined foods and extracts and juices and smoothies and all these kind of super bars or super shakes, they do not do that. They are not designed perfectly for human digestion, satiety, and fullness. For many different reasons, those foods might be perfect on the label, on any label. They might have all the vitamins and minerals listed on that, nutrition panel, but they just don't work for our body like whole foods do. They probably because they were refined, and that company who did the refining, they're not exactly nature. And nature designs things on this planet Earth that that work perfectly with each other. We're compatible with real whole foods. We are not that compatible with all these products on the shelves, no matter how good they sound on a label. So guys, stick with whole foods. That really works. That really works. And I can tell you from my experience now that I feel like I really know how food works for the body. And from all the evidence we have, there is nothing better than whole foods. And if you do want to stop overeating and craving snacks and counting calories or macronutrients, then start focusing on whole foods. And I'm even talking about things like maybe instead of oils, coconut or olive, even though they are quite amazing, can have benefits, or butters and all these extracts and powders. Maybe instead just focus on whole foods more. Olives, avocados, nuts and seeds, and coconuts themselves. Go for the whole thing that also happen to have fiber and all these other components that promote maximum satiety. So go for the whole thing. Whenever I'm working with someone who is trying to lose weight without having to be hungry and count all the calories, one of the first things I recommend is to stick with whole foods. So if you want to eat something a little bit fattier, we all need essential fats. Besides having fats in your things like whole eggs or shellfish or fatty fish or meat or poultry, they all contain fat, right? Besides all of that, just eat whole foods that have fats like flax seeds or walnuts or other nuts and seeds, or avocados or whole olives that again have volume, have water, have fiber, and they will promote more satiety. And they're it is much easier to register them, to feel fuller eating them, and to monitor the amount, because when we consume something like olive oil or coconut oil, it's really easy to put, instead of 1 tablespoon, 3 tablespoons. And with that, you're going to be getting, instead of 120 calories, 360 calories. And you won't even notice how you consume that. That's why you always want to stick with whole foods. Instead of avocado oil, eat whole avocados. You'll eat less, you get fiber, you'll get water, and you'll feel fuller. So whole foods, stick with nutrient-dense whole foods. That will change the game, guys. Just stick with it. Do it consistently for a couple of months, and your whole eating process and habits will change with it. Next one, what do we want to minimize? We want to minimize all the processed stuff, snacks, no matter how healthy they sound. Like even if it's some Soylent bar or meal replacement that is ideally balanced with micro and macronutrients, any shake, any bar, any extract, they will not give you the satiety you need to prevent overeating on a long term, for the long term. Again, that goes to the same bucket, still with the whole foods. Don't look at those bars as food source. That is like an emergency kind of thing, not the kind of food that you want to be having for your meals. The next thing that is very important and will contribute to your long-term success when it comes to managing and preventing overeating naturally is when you just starting out and you need to, focus on something to change your eating habits, when you're not in that place of naturally controlling your hunger, like when you can't really trust it yet because of your previous poor eating habits, you want to have a plan. Now, guys, for me, it's still the case for some foods. I, for example, love dark chocolate. And there are lots of health benefits, especially for the brain, for heart health, from dark chocolate. The darker it is, the more benefits it has. But that's the thing that is, for me, easy to overeat. And that's why I always make sure that it's sugar-free. So it's 99, 100%. There is no sugar added. Sugar seems to trigger in me overeating, no matter like the amount or where it is. Also, I try whenever I can to buy chocolate that is packaged in small servings. So for example, the one that I'm buying right now, it's 99%. And you open up that chocolate bar, and it's not actually a bar. Each 5 grams of chocolate are packed in their individual small case. And so I eat 6 of those, and that's an ounce. That's 30 grams. And that is really easy for me to manage because it feels like a lot. Those pieces, they kind of like wide, and the square is quite big. It seems like a lot. Also, they're individually packaged, so it feels like a complete serving. And I eat those 6 things. I take them out right away. I put them in front of me. I put the rest of the bar back where it belongs, to the cupboard or the fridge. And I have just 6 pieces in front of me. I eat them and I'm done. The same with any sorts of nuts and seeds that I tend to overeat. I buy single serving packets and containers, and no more than that. And whenever you want to manage some food better, you always want to pre-pack it, if it's not already packaged that way, in single service container. If, I don't know, if you tend to overeat cashews like I do, don't buy them in this whole huge bag. Or even if there is no option in single serving container, then get a whole big bag, get a pack of smaller containers like Ziploc bags, put a single serving of cashews in each of Ziploc bags, and next time you decide to eat some cashews, take one bag, put the rest back, and that's it. That's your serving. So make a plan and pre-package those foods that you tend to overeat. That's why also, putting your food into containers works for so many people. Like I have a few clients that they swear by this container system, because now that the food is in those containers, they have just one container in front of them, and they understand that this is their portion. They take their time eating it, and when it's done, it's done. They clean it and they wait till the next meal and the next container. And for the brain, it's a really powerful signal that this is our food. like this is what we planned, and the brain gets this signal that this is a finite portion. Whereas if you have like a whole pan of food in front of you and you're like, oh no, I'm gonna eat just a half or just a quarter, never gonna happen, guys. It's got to be in a separate container and you need to see the whole thing. So believe my experience, my personal and with a lot of clients, pre-package your food in single serving containers. And if you're really struggling with that, then don't buy food more than a single service container. So if you want to get some nuts at some point, or a bar, a chocolate bar, or a cookie, for a cookie or for desserts, you also might get into the habit, don't keep any at home, as I did and still do. But whenever you feel like you want to have a dessert, go to a restaurant, go to a cafe and order that piece of dessert. And that's it. And there is no more cake waiting for you anywhere. And it's probably also much more expensive than if you were to buy the whole thing at any store. And then you finish it and you leave, and that's it. That's how it also works for a lot of people. Even better, if you want to have just half of that, take a friend, share it, and that's how you're going to manage overeating. But take a friend who's not going to be talking you into buying the second piece, right? So there are all these strategies to manage our hungry brain. And when you start really using these strategies, they are quite powerful. And then after some time, they become a second nature. And without even thinking about it, you design your own environment to support your eating habits, preventing overeating naturally. What else? One other topic that I'd like to discuss today is eating out, eating at parties. Maybe that wedding or birthday party, or maybe you are in a hotel or on vacation with all-you-can-eat buffet that are quite popular, even though with COVID they became not so popular. But anyhow, guys, before each of those eating occasions that going to happen, maybe you have an office party, right? You want to make sure to empower your willpower to have something before that occasion, because when we are not hungry, we make much better decisions and our willpower is much stronger. So if there is a party you're going to, or if there is, an office party, maybe if you are on vacation in that all-you-can-eat buffet, just don't go hungry. Before a party, have a little bit of veg, a little bit of protein that's going to keep you full and satiated. Maybe not eat too much, so you still eat at the location at that party. Or when it comes to all-you-can-eat buffet, just don't go hungry. Maybe eat like a banana or a handful of nuts prior to your main meal, prior to going to that to be around food. And once you're there, load up on two things, veggies and protein. Veggies and protein. So again, non-starchy vegetables especially. And then seafood, meat, fish, eggs, load up on that. And when you're hungry, eat more veggies, eat more protein, the least dressed versions of them. Now, when we go to a party, there are all kinds of dishes, usually with different sauces or dressings, and not always they come on the side. Sometimes they're just mixed in there. So you want to get the least dressed version, meaning maybe it's steamed, or maybe it's baked or grilled, and there is not too much stuff, at least, from where you can see it, there is not too much stuff on it and in it. So get the least dressed version of your veggies and protein and eat slowly, drink water, maybe some tea if they have it there. So stay hydrated, keep eating your veggies, keep eating your protein, and you'll be much less likely to go for all the desserts and snack options. And that's one of the best strategies I'm using all the time too, and all of my clients using too, preventing going all out. Don't do that, guys. Don't starve yourself the whole day and then go to a party and eat all you can see because you're that damn hungry. That is a losing strategy, meaning you're gonna eat so much stuff that you don't want to be eating, and then the next morning, the next day, you're gonna be feeling guilty and stuffed and low on energy. So for so many reasons, it's not a great strategy to go hungry around a lot of food, a lot of tempting, high calorie, usually high sugar, high fat, highly, stimulating foods. And those are one of the best pieces of advice that I can give you to naturally prevent overeating. And if you follow this advice, guys, if you practice it regularly, believe me, guys, in months, in 2 months, you'll be like a pro. You'll be on top of your eating habits and looking and feeling better than you ever had. It takes practice. You gotta believe in that. You gotta design that, and it's gonna work. So that's it, guys. Practice, practice, practice. And one day you'll be amazed how much better you feel, how much more confident you feel around food, no matter where you are today. Believe me, guys, I used to overeat all the time, and now it's just not an issue, but it took practice, and I know that you can also do that. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for listening. In our environment where everything screams at you, eat me, eat me, eat me a lot without stopping right now, right? Our food environment is definitely what I wanted to say was our food environment promotes overeating. So you need to have systems in place to make better choices yeah, guys. So share this episode with someone who you will be practicing these anti-overeating strategies. Share this episode, practice, learn together, teach someone to remember better and to practice better. And guys, till next time, till tomorrow, eat better daily.